This is a production of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, made possible by the Friends of SDPB. Pledge your support for quality programming. Call Friends at 800-333-0789 or donate online at sdpb.org. You may purchase this video and many others online at our website. Click on Shop SDPB. And thank you.
This high school activities championship event is conducted under the auspices of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
From the Donald Young Center in Spearfish, South Dakota, welcome to the second session of Day 1 of the South Dakota High School Activities Association Class A State Girls Basketball Tournament. Hello, everyone, and a gracious good evening to you. Along with John Sieber, I'm Gary Ellenbolt. It is good to have you with us from the campus of Black Hills State University on this Thursday evening. Sioux Valley and St. Thomas More have already advanced to the right side of the bracket. We'll find one more semifinalist tonight with the first game and another, obviously, with the second game. This first one, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Yes, it's a 2 and a 7, but the Webster Bearcats taking on the Point-Jefferson Huskies as the number 7 seed. And quite a story, John Sieber, with the Bearcats this year.
Well, it has been, Gary, and if you followed Webster any at all, I know a lot of the media organizations around the state talking about it, how Webster lost arguably their best player in Haley Rithmiller before the season even started. You know, as an 8th grader last year for the varsity team, she averaged 18 points and 10 boards a game. A couple of weeks before the season, she tears her ACL, is out for the year, and it showed in the way Webster started. They started really slow. They lost their first 3 games, and then after Coach Vergel had sat down and had a talk with the team, and there were some players that he felt could do a little more. You know, they kind of got used last year to watching Rithmiller do a lot of the stuff, and he just told them, look, you need to step up, and from there they took off.
Realizing Rithmiller's not going to be here.
She's not going to be here, although she is on the roster for the state tournament. Now, how cool is this? She's coming back. The surgery was fine. Great. She's okay. She's moving around, and the therapy's going great. So Coach Vergel put her on the roster for the state tournament, and at some point in this state tournament, she's going to get some minutes in a state tournament game.
What a terrific gesture that is by the Bearcats. From the northeast part of the state of South Dakota, not too far from the city of Aberdeen, you look at their opponent first round, the Point-Jefferson Huskies. Very good team basketball. One name that you're going to hear an awful lot about is number 52 for the Huskies, Keely Bertram.
And there's a reason why we're going to hear a lot about Miss Bertram. I've talked to you, I've talked to several people around here, and she's one of the players that everybody is wanting to see. And if you had to pay to go watch a game, you would certainly want to go pay to watch a game with Miss Bertram playing in it, because she can pretty much do everything on the floor. If it's basketball related, the girl can do it.
And not only that, this is the floor where she will spend her college basketball years, as she has signed a letter of intent to play Division II basketball here at Black Hills State University in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The Huskies 20-2. Their losses to St. Thomas More and Sergeant Bluff Luton out of the state of Iowa, which is Sergeant Bluff, a suburb of the city of Sioux City in the northwest corner of the state. The Bearcats with a 14-7 mark, but again, after the slow start, really stepped things up, took their coach's advice to heart, and came through their regional with a couple of dicey games, but they're able to get it done.
Well, they started 0-3, won 7 of the last 8, including the postseason. First trip to the state since 1981 for this Webster Bearcat squad. The only other time they were at State A at the state tournament was 1979, and you can tell by the following that the Webster Bearcats have that it has just taken the town by storm. And Gary, let's go back to Elk Point-Jefferson for just a moment. They played St. Thomas More in that St. Thomas More game. St. Thomas More, the Cavaliers were rated number 1. Elk Point-Jefferson was rated number 2 at the time. And St. Thomas More, just much like they did this afternoon, got off to a great start. They had them down 18-0. And for all intents and purposes, that game is pretty much over. And we talked about that this afternoon. If your team loses and you can learn something from that loss, that's going to help you down the road. That's not a bad loss. You will take that. And that's exactly what Elk Point-Jefferson did. They discovered some things about themselves in that loss to St. Thomas More that helped them the rest of the year. They went 20-1 after that.
Earlier games in the state tournament in Class A, and we'll look at all of the games in each bracket in all three classes. St. Thomas More defeating Garrettson this afternoon in the first game, 61-16 that final score. Sioux Valley by 11 over Pine Ridge. The Cossacks over the Thorpes, 60-49. Garrettson and Pine Ridge in the first consolation round game on Friday afternoon. That'll be here at noon Mountain Time. And the Sioux Valley Cossacks taking on St. Thomas More. That will be in the very first semifinal game tomorrow night. Class A, Sioux Falls, Washington advancing, or Double A rather. Washington beating Harrisburg 50-35. Sturgis, the Scoopers, knocking off Spearfish 39-33 in the other AA quarterfinal in Brookings at Frost Arena. And in Class B, not much doubt in either game. Sully Buttes defeating Gayville-Vollen 65-31. The Chargers now taking on Warner, the defending B champion Monarchs, maybe with their noses out of joint a little bit as the number 4 seed in the tournament. They defeated Lyman, the Monarchs over the Cowgirls 59-35. Sully Buttes and Warner in semifinal 1 tomorrow night. Gayville-Vollen and Lyman in the first consolation game. Couple of games going on in Double A. Of course, they got started an hour earlier, being in the Central Time Zone, where we're here in the Mountain Zone. Mitchell defeating Sioux Falls Roosevelt, are leading them at halftime, 33-21, and a 38-18 lead for Hanson, leading Lyman. That is at halftime at the Huron Arena. We've got Point-Jefferson and Webster area coming up in just a couple of minutes. After that, the final game of the Thursday session will feature the Warriors from Winter and the Titans of Mt Vernon-Plankinton. That'll be a couple of hours away. Let's get the starting lineups, further set the stage for basketball from Spearfish. Here once again, our public address announcer, Scott Jensen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Donald E. Young Center on the campus of Black Hills State University in Spearfish. The South Dakota High School Activities Association welcomes you to this session of the State A Girls High School Basketball Tournament Games. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners Sanford Health, First Premier Bank Card, Farmers Union Insurance Agency, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard wish the best of luck to all teams participating in these state girls basketball tournament games. Good sportsmanship is vital at all levels of athletics. That is why the South Dakota High School Activities Association has sponsored a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. Good sportsmanship stresses positive values that are so important in the development of our leaders of tomorrow. You can set a good example by displaying good sportsmanship during these state tournament games.
Hello, I'm Dana Boak, Mayor of Spearfish.
And I'm Kay Schellenkamp, President of Black Hills State University. On behalf of everyone on campus and in the community, I welcome each of you to the 2014 State A Girls Basketball Tournament.
Congratulations on your successful basketball seasons. You should be very proud of your accomplishment. We are honored to host you, your family, and fans for this tournament.
We hope you enjoy your time on campus, in the community, and throughout the beautiful Black Hills.
As a graduate of BHSU and a business owner in Spearfish, I am sure you will find it's a wonderful place to visit.
Best of luck to each of you in your games. We look forward to some outstanding basketball over the next few days.
Hi, my name is Dave Peters, and I'm the Superintendent of Schools here in Spearfish. I'd like to welcome you to our community and to the 2014 Girls State A Basketball Tournament. The Spearfish School District is your host for this tournament, and as you know, we have partnered with Black Hills State University to provide these nice facilities to you. We've worked very hard to prepare for this tournament, and we hope to meet all your needs and expectations while you're here. Congratulations again for being here. Best of luck.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand to honor America and join in singing our national anthem as it is played by the Spearfish High School Band under the direction of Steve Albu. We would remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to remove your cap or hat, face the flag, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans in active duty military not in uniform may salute the flag. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the visiting team on the scoreboard.
Preparation isn't always glamorous, but you'll see it in early mornings and late nights in empty gyms in Webster. It is in those moments that a great team asks themselves, what can we achieve together? Make that dream become a reality, Bearcats. Ladies and gentlemen, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the City of Spearfish, Spearfish High School, and Black Hills State University proudly present to you the Region 1 champions, the Webster Area Bearcats.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the home team on the scoreboard.
Take a look around. This is a chance of a lifetime. This is Huskies basketball. It's game time. Are you ready? Today is your day. What are you going to do to help your team win? Ladies and gentlemen, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the City of Spearfish, Spearfish High School, and Black Hills State University proudly present to you the Region 4 champions, the Point-Jefferson Huskies.
And now let's meet each team. First, the Webster Area Bearcats. Number 10, Dylan Hanson. Number 12, Mariah Valesky. Number 22, Molly Rausch. Number 30, Devin Spindler. Number 34, Haley Rithmiller. Number 42, Lindsay Schoenbeck. Number 50, Shauna Hanson. And number 52, Faith Shoemaker. And now let's meet the team members for the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies. Number 3, Peyton Donnelly. Number 4, Miranda Stabe. Number 15, Maria Corio. Number 20, Josie Heron. Number 23, Alexis Flynn. Number 35, Morgan Flynn. Number 44, Emma McInerney. Number 51, Skylar Curry. And number 53, Jenny Daly. And now the starting lineups for each team. First, Webster Area Bearcats. At forward, a 6'1", senior number 14, Brianna Bullard. For the Huskies, a 5'8", sophomore guard, number 5, Mackenzie Menenga. For the Bearcats, a 5'8", junior guard, number 20, Lindsay Vogel. For the Huskies, a 5'5", senior guard, number 11, Hope Erickson. For the Bearcats, a 5'7", junior guard, number 24, Whitney Keller. For the Huskies, a 5'10", senior forward, number 30, Brittany Hanson. For the Bearcats, at guard, a freshman at 5'5", number 32, Mackenzie Valesky. For the Huskies, a 5'11", senior center, number 43, Amy Zeller. And for the Bearcats, a 5'9", junior forward, number 44, Joby McCreary. And for the Huskies, a 5'9", senior forward, number 52, Keely Bertram. Head coach of the Webster Area Bearcats is Jared Vergelt, assisted by Bill Sawinski. Head coach for the Huskies, Gary Nebelsick, assisted by Jim Rosenbaum and Adam Timmons. The team sponsor for the Bearcats is Wells Fargo. Team sponsor for the Huskies, Lucky's 13. Officials for the first game of tonight's second session, Terry Duffy, Jim Phillips, and Ryan Neal.
The Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies and the Webster Area Bearcats getting ready to do battle in this third game. The atmosphere is absolutely electric. First of two of the evening session coming up. Hope you enjoy it. Check your pulse if you don't. Let's get the play-by-play story. The man whose upcoming autobiography is called God Knows I Tried. Here's John Siebert.
Thank you, sir. Well, of course, the foreword written by Gary Ellenbolt.
Yes.
Who describes all the ways that I tried.
And it will be titled God Knows He Tried.
Where would you want to be on a Thursday night than the State A girls basketball tournament? Point-Jefferson wins the tip, nearly turns it over. There's Bertram going after it. Cats open 1-3-1 defense. Out top, they've got Keller. Quite a bit of speed out there, giving chase to the basketball. Bullard kind of holding down the fort in the middle. Keeping an eye on Bertram. Webster likes to play it, slow it down. And on the backside, shot blocked. Picked out of there by the Huskies. Bertram will try the long three. Rims off no. McCreary has it.
Huskies had their opportunities down low, outside, couldn't convert. Maybe that'll be the thing to straighten them out, but let's see what Webster does in its first possession.
Well, Webster comes in like a 6 freshman on the season, and Coach Vergelt worried about the press. Here's Bullard, turn around, blue. 10-footer's good. See the smile on her face.
Brianna Bullard with no problem. She turned it on, put it over the outstretched Point-Jefferson defender. It's a 2-0 lead for the Bearcats.
It's almost like she said, hey, Coach, you're right. I can't make that shot. Big smile. Huskies back, looking to attack. They got Bertram out on the left. Skip pass coming near side. Long three up and in. Good.
That's the kind of thing Mackenzie Menenga could do. An outstanding outside shooter. Had 21 points in the region championship game over Lennox a week ago. One behind Bertram with 22.
Menenga with the 3, and now we have Webster trying to inbound the ball against the press. And that's what Vergelt was scared about, Gary, was how his kids would react against that press. He said, you know, we got to break the press a few times.
The Huskies have a backcourt trap that is the envy of an awful lot of teams around the state, and it's absolutely relentless. They will stop at nothing to pick a pocket. You don't dare let your concentration lapse when you have the ball against EPJ.
Well, stay out of the Gunderson corners, you'll be okay. 3-2. Huskies lead. Inside they go to Bullard, knocked away from behind and picked up by Hanson. Hanson coming cross court. Bertram steps in, goes around McCreary. We're going to get a foul called on Joby McCreary.
And a pretty obvious one there, too, as Keely Bertram is driving the baseline. McCreary was there, got hung up with the body. And now the really good free throw shooter and future Black Hills State Yellow Jacket, Keely Bertram at the line.
You like this Point-Jefferson team, don't you? I mean, do you like the way they play the game?
I like the way they play the game, and while they have players of note, there's no real star system on the team. They've got 5 players who know their roles, know what they need to do, and more often than not, they get it done.
Correction, foul was called on number 44, Joby McCreary.
Yeah, I thought they gave it to Bullard. It wasn't, I'm not sure why, but the foul clearly on McCreary.
Right. And so the officials made that correction.
Get the correction. Good catch by head coach Jared Vergelt. Caught the official's attention while the free throw was being shot and explained it to him, and they changed it on the board in a moment. Here's the press again. 4-2, and now Webster Bearcats throw it away.
And that was the situation. It was kind of pick your poison that time for the Bearcats, because you're either going to throw the ball out of bounds or give it up on the 5-second violation. So they just tried to get it to somebody, and it didn't work.
Swinging around, Bertram, skip pass. Menenga will try another 3, same result.
And Menenga on both the three-point attempts went wide open. Webster's got to get an answer for Menenga's outside shooting.
And Keller steps out of bounds. Another turnover on the Bearcats, and that's exactly the start that Coach Jared Vergelt did not want.
And it's exactly according to plan for Gary Nebelsick with the Huskies. Just kind of get them rattled, take their will away from them, and get the dagger ready.
Well, they went 1-3-1 on the first couple trips down. Now switched off to a 2-3. Looking to try to cover up Menenga on the outside, you would imagine. There's Erickson dribbling. Now it finds Menenga. 7-2, Elk Point-Jefferson. Webster trying to get the stars out of their eyes here, get the nerves under control early going. Hanson has it out top, working against the pressure. Comes right back to Erickson. Here's Bertram looking everything over. Point-Jefferson right now, Gary, just content to work around the perimeter, and there's a steal by Bullard.
Nice job by Bullard stepping right in front of the intended receiver down low in the driveway and came up with the steal. Big steal for Webster, but they've got to convert here.
Good anticipation. Skylar Curry in the ball game, and now a steal by Point-Jefferson ahead to Bertram, outrunning everybody. Layup good. Really no way to defend that.
No.
Unless you got some of those Roadrunner rocket jets on your shoes. Then you might have a chance at catching it.
I think Acme's in Chapter 11, so they might be kind of tough to get right now.
9-2. Tie up on the floor. Ball goes rolling out. This should stay with the Bearcats.
It will. But you look at what Point-Jefferson does defensively. Just imagine how tired those girls are at the end of 32 minutes of basketball. Timeout is called here. Point-Jefferson with a 7-point lead. 4:41 to go in the first. We'll take a break and come back to Spearfish on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. 4 minutes, 41 seconds, first quarter. Huskies lead it early by 7. It's 9-2. Here's John.
Thank you, sir. Just goes to show even the officials can do a little house cleaning when they have to. Out there, make sure wiping up. There was a wet spot on the floor. Now there's another wet spot back here. What is going on?
Well, it's not raining in Spearfish, and the roof seems to be pretty solid construction, so we can rule those things out.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm seeing here.
But, of course, Spearfish is kind of an interesting community in the fact that rivers freeze from the bottom up.
I have heard that. I've not witnessed it, but I've heard that.
I haven't either. I would love to, but evidently there's some flotsam on the floor that they need to take care of.
It's all done. We're ready to play now. It's 9-2. Huskies on top of the Bearcats here. First game of the evening session on the first day of the South Dakota State A Girls Basketball Tournament. John Sieber, Gary Ellenbolt. Glad to have you with us. Here's Lindsey Vogel on the drive. Vogel off to Valesky. Valesky down the lane. Wow, what a move. Couldn't finish. Webster right now with more turnovers than field goals. The 4 turnovers and two field goal attempts for the Bearcats. Jump shot missed. Here comes Vogel on the run out again. Bullard calling for it on the far side. Instead, they'll get over to Molly Roush, 5'7" freshman who's in the ballgame. Webster comes in with 6 freshmen on the roster, Gary, and they all play except for Rith Miller.
And actually, you know, that's kind of the stock and trade what they have to do with Rith Miller gone.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh, Meninga. What a shot.
Meninga. Ball's going out of bounds, just grabs it, throws it up, and it actually goes in.
Those are some of the shots St. Thomas More was making today.
That's highlight stuff right there. Impressive. And you know it's your night if that's going down.
Yeah.
Meninga already, with 8 points? 8 of the 11. And there's a block shot inside. That was Curry that blocked the shot at McQuarrie. And the Huskies are back.
One thing I've noticed about the Huskies, they never stop moving. Everybody's in constant motion every second out there.
Donnelly in there for the Huskies as well. 5'7" sophomore, number 3 there. Jump shot missed. Cats with the basketball. Valesky. And now we get a timeout call. Webster wants time. Coach Vergel wants to talk about this. 11-2 right now. Point-Jefferson. Huskies shooting 4 of 7 from the field, 57%. And for the Bearcats, 1 of 4 right now for 25%. 4 turnovers on the game for Webster. And right now being out-rebounded 5-4 by Point-Jefferson. As far as points goes, Meninga leading the way, leading all scores with 8 for EPJ.
Scores around the state tournament. Mitchell is leading Sioux Falls Roosevelt. They're just underway in the third quarter in Brookings. 33-23 Colonels over the Rough Riders. And in Class B, it is a lead for Hanson over Lyman. And we'll get that score as soon as it repopulates here. 3:08 to go in the first period in our game. St. Thomas More has won already, and also a win to Sioux Valley. And a quick foul on the block is going on Hope Erickson for EPJ. 38-20, Hanson is leading Lyman in the third.
That was a very quick whistle there right after the timeout taken by Webster. And I'm sure that Coach Vergel talked to his team about, hey, Lindsey Vogel needs to, I think that's who needs to step up here for the Bearcats. And right on cue, there she is, knocking down the jump shot.
Left wide open from the top of the circle, put up the 20-footer, up and good, 11-4. Actually, just a 19-footer as a keeper on the line.
Hanson inside, Bertram now work it back out on top with the ball. There's Donnelly, and now another steal by Bullard on the inside. Bullard's done a pretty good job of handling Hanson on the inside, hasn't she?
She's done a very nice job stepping in front of Hanson, making sure if the ball comes her way, she reacts really well to it.
And right now, Webster, they've kind of shifted stuff. They've moved Bullard away from the post. Bullard's been guarded there by Amy Zeller, the 5'11 senior. They've brought Bullard out high to set the screens to try to free up Vogel. Here's Roush driving baseline. Gets it back to Valesky. Valesky on the drive, left it short. McQuarrie had a hand on it, but it's off her hands, out of bounds.
Just about there for McQuarrie. She got a hand up trying to save the ball, and that's going to be the natural reaction of a player. You see it going out of bounds, you know that's not supposed to happen. You're going to take a swipe at it. She gave it a great effort, but just couldn't convert.
Webster going to the bench here with Mariah Valesky, number 12, and Molly Roush, number 22 in the ball game. And now a steal by McQuarrie. Gets it ahead to Roush. Roush on the run out. Layup. Good. Oh, she missed it. Talk about anticipation. I thought for sure it was going down. That spun off. That was shades of what we saw this afternoon with Pine Ridge.
Indeed. Pine Ridge had a lot of difficulty getting inside shots to fall. And now a little bit more tall timber coming in as Keely Bertram is back. And also Skylar Curry.
Curry and Bertram returns for Webster. They will be bringing in Lindsay Schoenbeck, 5'9" freshman.
One thing impressing
and also,
me...
Dylan Hanson, the senior, checking in.
I'm sorry, John. One thing really impressing me about the Bearcats, there's not an ounce of quit in them. I mean, they had an 11-2 deficit, and they could have said, okay, you know, we'll see what happens in the consolation round. They're just too good for us, but they are not allowing themselves to give up or get out of this one.
Well, Webster, it's kind of been a trademark of this Webster area team, Gary, to get down early. They've seen a lot of double-digit deficits in the first and second quarter, and even in the third quarters, and they came back on the teams. So even though they get down by double digits, don't count them out. There's a missed three out of the corner by Erickson, and Vogel will spin her way across midcourt. Crosses over, and now we get another foul called. This is going to be on Erickson.
Foul on the block is going on Hope Erickson. That's going to be her second foul. And the second one on the block. Didn't look like a lot of contact, but Erickson was there, bumped enough of the body to get the personal call. Here's Donnelly coming in for the Huskies. Peyton Donnelly, who had some nice minutes in the regional final win over Lennox in the 4A final, played in Beersford.
She'll have to replace Erickson, who's with those two fouls, will sit probably for the rest of the half. Meninga guarding the freshman Valesky. Knocks the ball away. Valesky throws, and it's picked up by the Huskies. Ahead, layup. She won't miss that one.
No. And Meninga was right there where she had to be. Bertram got the steal. Pretty feed to Meninga, who did the rest of the work.
Meninga right back as she and Donnelly force the jump ball, and that will go over to EPJ. Point-Jefferson will get the basketball here, leading 13-4. Minute 14 to play in the first quarter.
You know, the Jefferson part of Point-Jefferson has had quite a history in high school basketball. First couple of champions in the small school classes under the late Fred Tibbetts.
Bertram inside, outside to Hanson, and Hanson knocks down the three. 16-4. 58 seconds to play in the quarter. Vogel working into the corner to Hanson. Now inside Bullard, had to go off her hands, taken away by Bertram. Bertram on the run out, all the way down, puts it up and in, good.
She sees the court so very well. Her eyes are moving constantly. She's looking around, trying to find even the slimmest of openings to get through, and more often than not, she's able to get it done.
Now Coach Vergelt right now for the Bearcats just trying to find a player, a couple of players that can get the ball across midcourt. Subs coming in left and right. Bearcats will get it in with 39 seconds to play in the first quarter. Vogel has it. Lindsay Stutter stepping her way across midcourt, guarded by Donnelly. Vogel all the way through, left hand layup, good. Man.
Well, she skied for that one. Her left arm was probably about 6 feet away from her body when she put it up, and a nice layup down low.
Inside, spinning the shot to answer. Good! Off the paint, or off the window for Curry. Skylar Curry with the quick 2. 6 seconds. Roush will try a 3 and hit it. And that's the way your first quarter will end. 20-9. Elk Point-Jefferson leading the Webster area Bearcats at the State A Girls Basketball Tournament in Spearfish. We'll come back for the second quarter right after this.
One quarter in the books here in Spearfish. Elk Point-Jefferson a 20-9 lead over Webster in the first. The Huskies for the quarter, 61.5% shooting to Webster's 44-4. 3-pointers, 3 of 5 for Elk Point-Jefferson, 1 of 1 for Webster area. 7 rebounds for the Huskies, 5 for Webster. And as far as turnovers, well, Webster leading that one 7-3.
One of the categories that you do not want to be leading in, correct?
Not by any. Well, Garrettson found that out in the first game this afternoon as they fell 61-16 to St. Thomas More.
11-9 or 20-9 the lead for Elk Point-Jefferson. But Webster tried to go a little pick and roll that time, and McCreary couldn't handle the pass. Actually, a good defensive job by Hanson to take it away. Now Hanson going inside, shot no good as she's fouled from behind. That's Zeller that was fouled going to the line for 2.
You could tell Zeller was fouled, and she took a pretty hard shot underneath too. And that's a good high percentage shot. You can't blame her for taking it at all. She'll go to the line and try 2 and try to make it a 22-9 game.
Free throw, good on the first one. .5'11" senior puts it up and hits. Or puts it up, doesn't connect on the second one, even though she's at 82% free throw shooter. Some of those things that are automatic, Gary, you'll find out they're not that automatic in some instances.
They seldom are.
Another steal by Elk Point-Jefferson. Coach Vergelt wanted to know why there wasn't a foul call. He thought came right through his player, and now Vinegar again. My gosh.
She just can't miss. She is amazing tonight, and that has been her stock and trade. Transfer from just down the road at the School of McCook Lake, Dakota Valley, and they are really glad to have her at EPJ.
Drops in another one, and now trying to answer. That 3 is good.
That was Vogel who put it up. She goes from amen corner left side, stops and fires, 24-12 Huskies.
Well, the Bearcats just kind of hanging around. Bertram starts right, goes left, travels. Yep.
Bertram's lighting the foot. She had a great shot. She hit the one from about 13 feet, but traveled beforehand. You will not put it on the board. You'll give the ball to Webster. 6:36 in the half.
Coach Nebelsack saying, hey, reverse that next time. Reverse it back around wide open on the backside against that zone. See if that's what they do the next time down the court. Bertram now jumping out to guard the ball. And different philosophies at work here now. Bullard can't handle it. Bullard cut to the left. Here's Bertram inside, layup good over McCreary. Bullard cut to the left.
And Zeller was there for the block.
Vogel thought she was going to the right or staying where she was. And now Vogel beats the tramp. Gets it out here to Roush. 5'7" freshman to Vogel. And the pass a little wide, and Vogel touched it last. Yep.
Just ran out of room on the sideline there as they tried to set something up for a shot to get back into this one. Trailing by 14, it's 26-12, and the Huskies had the ball again.
And Donnelly working things there at the point. That's because Erickson on the bench with those foul trouble. There's the skip pass going far side to near side. That 3 no good, and now Bullard hits the floor hard. She's fouled by Zeller. Crash it in.
But Bullard showing no ill effect. She gets up right away. Now Skylar Curry is coming back in for Elk Point-Jefferson.
Breezy, as they call Bullard, over team members. She's a tough kid. Rub a little dirt on it and away you go. Webster, though, having no success against that zone or against that press. Another steal, missed layup. Bertram will track it down in the corner. Turnaround shot from the elbow, good by Curry.
Curry puts it up. Curry puts it down. Timeout called with 5:47 to go and a 28-12 lead. On that inbound, it was partially deflected by one of the Huskies. I really didn't see who. Keely Bertram came out of nowhere just before the ball was going out of bounds, was able to get it to Erickson, who ran the offense, and they got another score on the jumper from Curry.
Well, and right now, Elk Point-Jefferson shooting almost 63% from the field. They're 10 of 16. Bearcats are shooting 50%. Bad news is you only had 10 field goals.
Right.
And 11 turnovers for Webster. Actually, 10 field goal attempts. They've made 5 of 10. And at the free throw line, 2 of 2. Elk Point-Jefferson 4 of 7, or 4 of 7 on threes, and a 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Webster has not been to the free throw line yet this game. But the rebounding getting a little more back to even as Elk Point-Jefferson with 8, Webster area with 7.
And you take a look at their shot chart there, and you look what Elk Point-Jefferson has. Able to put it up from outside. If they can get inside, they've been very successful and well, as Webster has had their problems trying to score from inside.
Well, good job of the interior defense of Elk Point-Jefferson, and that being a Zeller and Curry and Hanson inside to, and really Webster's only inside game to this point has been Bullard's.
Right.
McCreary will take it out. Webster now will back everybody up above the three-point line, try to peel somebody off to get them open, get it into Vogel. Middle of the floor to go to Bullard. Bullard ahead to McQuarrie. Joey McQuarrie. Here comes the trap, trying to beat the trap, working into the corner. Jump pass inside Bullard. Now that's going to be a foul called on Curry.
Foul on the reach on Skylar Curry, and that was an obvious foul too. She was going for the basketball, got to reaching around the body of the Bearcat, and Curry picks up the foul. It'll be the 5th for the Huskies. Webster's committed 3.
Kind of interesting how that works, isn't it? Last time down the court, Coach Vergelt was talking to the officials about, hey, got to protect my post player in there, and now we get the foul call, and that ball knocked away by Curry. Didn't take away any of the aggressiveness of Curry, did it?
No.
The foul.
No, just, okay, got a foul, no problem. We'll just get back to business here. And a good aggressive play that time by Curry. That's the thing coaches don't mind. You're going after the basketball, trying to make something happen.
Well, this Webster team goes as Lindsey Vogel goes. Lindsey averaging about 15 points a ball game. That rushed that shot a little bit and sneaking out down court. Meninga, but nobody saw her. She was wide open. She was across half court. Nobody anywhere near her. Bertram flashing on the baseline, laid in good.
Boy, the people in Spearfish have a lot to look forward to when Keely Bertram comes here and plays basketball at Black Hills State. Nice job on the baseline. Knew exactly what she wanted to do and put it up with authority and got it.
30-12. Let's see. And so far today, Gary, we've seen a couple of pretty good defenses. St. Thomas More and now Elk Point-Jefferson. They just allow teams to do nothing, do they?
They really don't, and it's just, you can't get a run going against them because they are so adept at stopping anything you try to do, and after a while, most teams are going to figure, well, that's not going to work, so why try? And it's just breaking the will of the other team.
That steal initiated by Keller. Molesky is back in there. That's McKenzie, or Mariah, excuse me, that's 12. So Molesky, McQuarrie, Keller, and Bullard on the floor right now for Webster area. Here's Bullard trying to drop it down low to McQuarrie, and it's out of bounds. It'll go over to Elk Point-Jefferson.
Tough pass, and McCleary just not able to hang on to it as it went out of bounds. Huskies will get it when we come back. 30-14, EPJ. Back after this on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. John Seaver, Gary Illenbolt back from the Donald Young Center in Spearfish. Huskies with the lead, Huskies with the ball, and John Seaver with the call.
Midway through the second quarter, and it's been all Elk Point-Jefferson. Webster area struggling on the offensive side. And once again, they work inside Zeller, step around shot goal. Curry, excuse me.
Curry looked like she was out of position to take the shot. She fixed that by just taking a single step back in play and able to get it done.
Well, and Bertram and Curry tie up Keller at midcourt. And that will be a jump ball with possession arrow going over to Elk Point-Jefferson. Back in there is Erickson with those 2 fouls. Donnelly setting up on the near corner.
Does it surprise you that Erickson's in this late with 2 fouls in the big lead?
A little, but, you know, depends on the player. There's a three that bounces on the front.
Donnelly puts it up from the right side. Bounced off the rim. Took
5
the high
seconds.
bounce and down it went.
Third 5-second call here in the first half on the Webster area. Right now, 13 turnovers on the Webster. They're down 35-14. And exactly what Coach Vergelt talked about, his team is having trouble with, and that's breaking the press of Point-Jefferson. In the corner, Donnelly working right back inside. That is a travel. Missed the shot. Donnelly gets it back. Here's Bertram. Meninga will try the left side. That one is no good. Keller with the rebound. I think Zeller might have got away with one in there. Vogel all the way through. Bertram will knock the ball away. And now we get a foul call. This foul, I think, is going to be on the Webster. And that will be the third team foul on Webster.
And do you think that maybe that was a frustration foul more than anything, going after the basketball after losing it, just trying to make up for what happened? And there's the foul.
Yes. It's been a very frustrating first half for Webster. There's Bertram, her shot blocked, fouled by Bullard. And if you're the Webster area Bearcats, you know, if you had any kind of stars in your eyes or were kind of starstruck with the surroundings of being here for the first time in 33 years, I think it's all gone now.
Right. And I don't think any of these players were alive the last time the Bearcats got to state, were they?
What an observation, Mr.
Well, thank you.
Way to go.
You know, every once in a while, it's like my dad used to say, if you make a mistake and then turn around and make another one, pretty soon you've made two mistakes.
Bertram at the line. Keely Bertram averaging 21 points a ball game, 7 rebounds, and shooting about 70% at the free throw line. Misses the first, makes the second. Vogel, here comes Bertram from behind, looking for that trap, and we get a foul call. That's going to be the third on Erickson, and the gamble for Coach Nebelsick in this first half not paying off, as Erickson will pick up the personal. Hope Erickson, 5'9" senior, will have to lead the ball game.
I wondered maybe for a second if that had gone on Bertram, but then I didn't see the reach of the block or anything. She was able to stay away from there, but she had kind of a look on her face like, who, me? And it turns out it wasn't. It was on Erickson. Bertram yet to foul.
Here's Vogel. Trying to drop it inside. McCreary has it. Count it. And to the line. McCreary, first field goal of the game. And the first trip to the free throw line for the Webster Bearcats.
Foul is going to go on Bertram. And just as I say she hadn't fouled yet, there's her first. That is the 6th for the Huskies. Webster one away from the bonus, but not a lot of time to enjoy it when and if they get there with 2.5 left to go in half one.
The winner of this one moves into the second semifinal game tomorrow night against the winner of our next contest, Mt Vernon-Plankinton, and a winner. St. Thomas More and Sioux Valley already in the semifinals tomorrow night. Here's Meninga, another three, another basket.
Absolutely no conscience to speak of. Mackenzie Meninga looking, spotting, seeing the opening. She's got the green light whenever she thinks she gets the opening. And she got it done there. Meninga was 16 of the 39 for the Huskies.
Here's Vogel all the way through to the baseline. Stopped. We'll bring it back out. Look to go back inside to McCreary. Here's Joby on the drive, and a foul. It's going to be called.
Just getting enough of the body to commit the foul. And I'm thinking that's going on Amy Zeller. It will be Zeller who will pick up the personal. That'll be Amy's second. 17 fouls now for Point-Jefferson, and Webster with 1:56 to have the bonus.
And that will put Joby McCreary at the free throw line. First one's good for the 5'9" junior. Well, you look at this Webster squad, only 2 seniors on the squad, Brianna Bullard and Dylan Hanson.
They're kind of in Garrettson's situation where they're kind of a team of the future. They can use the lessons they learn here and see what they can do in Class A in 2014-15.
Second free throw is good. McCreary 2 of 3 at the line. And 4 points on the evening. Webster trying to stay close here with under 2 to play in the first half. Bertram will grab the loose ball. Come to the right, missed the shot though. Schoenbeck will pull down the rebound. She checked back in the game. Here is Roush on the drive. Roush all the way through. Nice drive, couldn't finish. McCreary rips down the rebound. She can't hit. And now we had a jump ball called, and I believe this possession arrow belongs to the Bearcats.
Bearcats will keep it on their end with 1:29 to go. Nice job keeping the ball in play and keeping the fight going.
And at that's two layups now that Molly Roush has had a chance at, Gary, and both have just rolled around the rim and came off. Schoenbeck will stop and pop from 10. It's no good. Went after the rebound, lost it. Bertram picks it up. Here's Bertram on the run out. Bertram, and going after it is going to be Webster. That's Dylan Hanson, the senior, went after the steal. Going to commit the foul.
Hanson will pick up her first personal foul with 1:19 to go. Now, Point-Jefferson, a couple of fouls away from going to the line for the 1-and-1.
Number 52, Faith Shoemaker, will check in the game for Webster. Out top, Donnelly banks in a three.
Donnelly seems to pick up wherever Menenga leaves off, and now they're both on the floor. Donnelly saw the wide open shot from 21 away, kissed it off the glass, and down it went.
Minute 2 to play. And now we're going to get a foul called. I think we had an offensive foul on it. Nope.
Nope, that's on Bertram.
Okay, the foul's going to be on Bertram. I thought they might have got to Hanson. That's the reason Hanson was laying on the floor. Bertram will leave. And that was her second. Erickson has 3. And Hanson at the free throw line for 1-and-1. .57 senior misses on the front end, will not get the bonus. And with under a minute to play in the first half, Point-Jefferson on top 42-18. High post turnaround jumper from 15 for Curry. Nope, got the rebound, and she's fouled on the way back up.
Put Skylar Curry to the free throw line as the foul will go on the Bearcats. Schoenbeck will pick it up.
Shooting to Skylar Curry.
Devin Spindler will check in. Sophomore for this Webster squad. Curry first free throw is good. Curry's come off the bench, Gary, and played some pretty good minutes for this Husky team in this first half.
She has been a nice backup, done some good things inside, and pretty tasty night at the free throw line thus far as well. She makes it 43-18.
7 points in the night, make it 8, so we'll go along with a couple of rebounds for Curry. Roush will get it in to Spindler, right back to Roush. Vogel will clear out, let Roush work against Hanson. Schoenbeck's pass went off the hands of Menenga. .28 seconds to play in this first half. Vogel, see if Webster likes to try to hold for one here, or take the first available opportunity. Schoenbeck turns, fires. That one is short. Rebound.
That might have been partially deflected, too. Looks like one of the Huskies got a hand up.
So now with 10 seconds to go. Menenga to Donnelly. Donnelly drives, draws the defense. Can't bank that one in. 1.5. Webster has it out of there with Shoemaker, and there's your first half. 44-18. Point-Jefferson leading the Webster area Bearcats at the girls' State A in Spearfish. We'll come back right after this with halftime stats.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
Well, it's halftime here in Game 1 of the evening session on the opening day of the South Dakota State A girls basketball tournaments. Not just the State A, but also the State B and the AA.
Tournaments going on around the state of South Dakota, of course, with games in Brookings for the AA tournament. Frost Arena and the city of Brookings doing a great job taking care of the AA girls tournament. And, of course, Huron with another year playing or hosting the Class B tournament. Terry Nebelsick, who, by the way, the older brother of the head coach at Point-Jefferson, Gary Nebelsick, making things a very good experience inside the Huron Arena. Our game here at halftime, it's been all Elk Point-Jefferson as the Huskies have the lead at 44-18. And John, I think everything that you've been hearing about Elk Point-Jefferson, pretty much the truth.
Well, so far. Bertram's the real deal. Meninga, I'm really shocked at how well she shoots. I mean, you can talk to people and go, yeah, you know, she can, but very consistent. That's the one thing you look for in a shooter. Can they do that, you know, on a consistent basis?
And one thing I've noticed is that Webster, I mean, they move the ball around so much, they kind of break the rhythm of the zone, and that leaves Meninga wide open for those three-pointers.
Meninga, I mean, either whether it's on the right side or left side, and, you know, she's knocking down the shots, Gary, but a lot of the credit goes to her teammates for getting her the basketball in a position to score. And you talk to coaches a lot of times, they talk about their passing on time, and her teammates are doing an excellent job of passing on time before the defense has a chance to recover, getting to the ball, so she has those open looks.
And one thing that's really been impressive about the Huskies, and this is what people had told me last week when I had a chance to see them, there are players that they count on. There are players who are very good, obviously, for the Huskies, but there's no real star system. It's just a matter of everybody playing 32 minutes, knowing their roles, knowing what they have to do. And more often than not, they've made it work in the 2013-2014 season. The Huskies or the Bearcats will join St. Thomas More and Sioux Valley in semifinal action. This time tomorrow night will be the first semifinal, and that should be a good one, too, between the St. Thomas More Cavaliers and the Cossacks of Sioux Valley. 44-18 our score here as Elk Point-Jefferson all over Webster after 16 minutes of basketball. Let's take another break, and we'll come back and tell you more about the first half on member-supported South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Championship event is brought to you in part by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Farmers Union Insurance, by SDN Communications, and by the Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota.
3:07 to play here, or to go before we get to the second half underway. 44-18, Elk Point-Jefferson leading Webster area Bearcats. Webster 7 of 18 from the field for 38%, 2 of 2 at the free throw line. Or 2 of 2 on threes, 2 of 4 at the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 2 on the offensive side of things, 3 assists, 4 steals, 14 turnovers. That's the number to watch for this Webster Bearcat team against the press of the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies. Elk Point-Jefferson shooting 53% from the field. They're 16 of 30. On threes, Gary, 7 of 11 for 63% on the night.
What a phenomenal number. And thank Mackenzie Meninga, for the vast majority of that.
5 of 8 at the free throw line for 62%, 18 rebounds, 12 assists, 8 steals, and only 5 turnovers. And the individual numbers, as Gary said, to Mackenzie Meninga on the night, 16 points. She is 4 of 7 on three-pointers. Peyton Donnelly, 2 of 2 on 3. She has 6 points. 10 points for Keely Bertram, 4 of 7 from the field. Bertram with 7 assists so far here in this first half. For the Bearcats, they are led by Lindsey Vogel with 9 points, 4 for Joby McQuarrie, 2 points for Brianna Bullard, 3 points for Molly Roush. And for Webster, 7 of 18 from the field, 2 of 2 on threes, as we said. Rebounding wise, McQuarrie, Lindsay Schoenbeck, and Brianna Bullard with 2 each for Webster. And Keely Bertram with 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 10 points in that first half to lead the way for Elk Point-Jefferson.
Take one more break, and we will come back and bring you the second half of basketball from here in Spearfish. Winner in Mt Vernon-Plankinton to follow. Back with more on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. A 44-18 score after one half of basketball. Elk Point-Jefferson has the lead on Webster. The Huskies and the Bearcats with one more half to play. And to tell you all about it, here's John.
Hey, thanks, Gary. Appreciate the opportunity to visit with a lot of the folks around here. in between the commercial breaks. A lot of folks, a lot of people, this Class A basketball tournament this year drawing a lot of interest from around the state. She's picking up right where she left off.
Absolutely. Menenga, the defender, slipped in front of her. She saw the wide open spaces there and put up the 20-footer. Now 47-18 Huskies.
Menenga just keeps on to keep it on. You know, and Bertram, her game has been very quiet. You know, she's put everything together. A really very quiet night.
I've never been corrected by a 10-year-old in a broadcast before.
That's what was going on.
Well, they wanted to point out the fact it's Elk Point-Jefferson and not Elk Point. and you know, that's well and good. It's just Elk Point-Jefferson is quite a beast to write in a character generator.
Way to go, Mr. Ellen Bolt.
Yeah.
47, disappointing youth everywhere these days.
Not the first time.
47-18. Here's Menenga again inside. Wow. Little floater with the right hand, going left, shooting with the right. Sophomore drops it in. And it's all Huskies right now. Here's McCreary. Bertram coming in from behind, and McCreary picks up the dribble. Who's going to help her out? That's a 10-second call.
And that, again, is just what Elk Point-Jefferson can do on the defense. That was with Menenga slipping. So you're playing 5-on-4 for a little bit, and the Bearcats just not able to get the ball over.
Erickson back in there with those 3 fouls. And Hanson will try the shot. No good. Bullard can't handle the rebound. Ball loose. Hanson dives to the floor, rolls over, and gets it out here to Menenga. McKenzie, the 5'8" sophomore, looking for an open area. Defense very alertly on top of her band, but they forget to cover up on the inside with Zeller.
And Zeller was there, put the shot up, got hacked in the hand as she tried the shot. Up and down it goes, and Zeller will try to get the 3-point play.
Well, Garrettson at the state A tournament for the first time since 1980. Webster for the first time since 81. And both running into a couple of pretty good teams in St. Thomas More and Elk Point-Jefferson.
Yes. We do know Jefferson's part of the district. It's just we have some limitations on the letters.
And I'm sure that's not the first time that somebody said that tonight, going, well, it's Elk Point-Jefferson.
Yeah.
So it just took a 10-year-old come down, tap you on the shoulder, and tell you, hey, you've got it wrong, mister.
Like I said, it's not the first time that's ever happened. I disappointed Dalton. I'm an equal opportunity disappointer. Ask my mom. In fact, the only time my dad in his life ever got my name right is when he was mad at me. Otherwise, that was my brother.
On the drive, Roush. As she went around the corner, one of the defenders for Elk Point-Jefferson reached out, got to handle the basketball, and Roush had to go off her leg out of bounds. 52-18. Huskies in control on this one. Heads up, Mr. Ellenbolt.
All right, I'm all right. Nice save by John Thayer doing a radio broadcast for the Huskies tonight, though.
Not bad for an old wrestler, huh?
Yeah, it really wasn't.
Showing pretty good hands there, buddy. Way to go.
Well, you know, he tries to protect his face at every turn, so that has a lot to do with it.
In the lane, shot up, no good that time by Bertram. You know, they have her listed at 5'9", Gary, but when you see her jump, it's just amazing how high off the floor she gets. You're right. These folks here in Spearfish are going to have a thrill watching this kid play.
So where do you put her for Yellow Jackets? 2, 3, maybe?
Got to go 2.
Yeah.
Got to go 2, don't you?
I would think so in college ball.
Here's Vogel on the drive, runs over one player. Let's see who that is. She's up, she's okay. That's Hanson, got a big smile on her face. Didn't know I could slide that far.
No. Almost took her out the door and down to Deadwood.
Webster starts above the three-point line, trying to look for Bullard. Instead, the pass deflected by Meninga, and back come the Huskies. Bertram layup good.
Peyton Donnelly did 90% of the work there and found the wide open Bertram, who finished the drive, put the shot up, and put it down. It is all Huskies. Elk Point-Jefferson, 54-18.
Timeout on the floor. That's the official timeout while they tie the shoe. Was that Hanson again, kind of holding things up? Getting the shoe tied, and now a steal. Wow. Here's McKenzie, left-hand layup, good.
Meninga had 2 steps on the entire Webster defense. She got the steal, knew exactly what to do with it, went down, put it up and in, 56-18.
Very impressed with Meninga. I mean, she's just been flat out killer tonight. Kid can play basketball. 21 on the night for Meninga. Inside, Bullard turns, shoots, can't score. And even when Webster does get a shot, Gary, it's so rushed that nothing is in rhythm. Pass from Bertram, trying to hit Hanson, rolls off her hands out of bounds. Line change coming in.
And a timeout called here. 4:27 to go. A 56-18 lead for the Huskies, and we're back in a bit. Member-supported South Dakota Public Broadcasting. We're in the third quarter, 4 minutes 27 left in the third, 56-18, the Huskies. Here's John.
Well, they refilled the candy bowl, Gary. That's the good news, but it's way on the other end of the table. That's the bad news.
Right. Not a lot of time to be consuming chocolate right now.
Oh, but you need to consume chocolate to keep the energy flowing.
I don't disagree. It's just we don't have time to do it right this second.
We're good.
Not that that's ever stopped us, but...
Here's Vogel right down the lane, and she's going to be fouled.
She found some space right in the lane, and as soon as she put the shot up, she was fouled. I think Curry is going to get that for Elk Point-Jefferson. She will not. Instead, that will be Zeller. And Zeller will pick up her third foul.
And another line change coming in here for the Huskies. I'm going to have to talk to Coach Vergelt after the game for Webster area, and just asking me, Coach, were you surprised at how well that Meninga was able to shoot the basketball against you? Because it seems like she's been open almost all night.
What do you think Jim Nance does if somebody comes up behind him and says, no, it's Gardner-Webb, not Gardner?
Free throw by Vogel's no good. You're going to be thinking about that for a while, aren't you?
Probably into the boys B tournament next week, where we'll be in Aberdeen.
Here's Bertram.
I would not have dreamed of doing something like that. And I know they meant well.
Josie Heron in the game. Erickson back in there.
Contrary to what my parents think, I do work.
Ball loose out top. Heron going to the floor with it with a couple of Bearcats. Going to be a foul called. No foul. Jump ball. Forget it.
And if Heron had gotten there a split second sooner, that's Elk Point-Jefferson basketball. But just a little bit late to the dance, hence the tie-up.
There's Valesky, that's McKenzie. Baseline pull up, good. Makes it 56-20, Elk Point-Jefferson. Coming down here to the end of the quarter, Vogel takes it away from Erickson. And it will stay here with Webster. Lindsey Vogel turning past the ball to Coach Gary Nevillesack.
Right, his eligibility has been used up for quite some time, but he appreciates the gesture. You can see.
He turned to some of the fans that behind him and said, "Did you see that? She threw the ball at me."
That's a technical in a lot of places.
Lindsey had a big smile on her face. Realized she was trying to pass to the official. Just turned and saw a tall, strange-looking man standing there and threw it right to him. Under 3 to play here in the third. Hey, and during the season, this Webster Bearcat student body, and I don't know if we get a shot of them with the camera or not, but the Webster's got a huge crowd here tonight, a huge following.
A very impressively huge crowd, considering the distance.
And this student section, all through the regions, at the end of the, there's the Webster student section. And just a huge crowd for Webster. and here for this game. Point-Jefferson, nice crowd on hand as well. But for these guys, during the Regents, Gary, I started noticing at the end of the third quarter, between the third and fourth quarters, there was singing going on. There was God Bless America being sung, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Right.
And I started noticing it was the Webster student section. Just for no reason, just during the break between the quarters, between third and fourth quarter, they would sing God Bless America, just the students by themselves, and it was beautiful. First time I heard it, I had chill bumps. I mean, just chills. And we're going to try to get that tonight between the quarters. We're going to try to bring you that tonight.
We'll share that with you in just a little bit. 2 minutes and 45 to go here. 56-20 the score. And the Bearcats watch the Huskies inbound for Bertram.
Well, you have to love the atmosphere in high school tournament basketball, don't you?
And they're just, it's solid emotion from 1 second to the next for the entire day and evening and beyond.
Winner and Mt Vernon-Plankinton coming up next. You gotta love those initials, don't you? MVP. Here's Erickson.
Absolutely.
Pass to Bertram. She'll pull up from 10, left a little short. McCreary boxes her out and grabs the rebound. Vogel on the run. Stutter step moves, slides along the baseline, hits the side of the backboard with a shot. And here's Bertram. Bertram in a foot race. Vogel catches up with her but can't catch the basketball.
Not quite there. And Bertram was there flying down the floor, but nice job by Webster defensively, just making the effort, especially down 58-20.
Bullard off the glass. Kellett on a foul. That foul is going to be called on Zell, I believe.
And if that is on Zeller, it's going to be foul number 4, and 43 will get number 4 right there. Little bit of foul concern right now for the Huskies. You have Erickson with 3, Bertram has 3, and then 4 fouls now for number 43.
Well, thankfully, in the game tomorrow, they'll get 5 new ones.
That's right.
Those will reset.
Yeah.
Point-Jefferson leading 58-20.
I always thought it would be a cool rule in hockey. If you have a penalty toward the end of the game, you have to stay in the box till the next time your team's in town.
I mean,
adds some interest, you know?
Yeah. Even Scott likes that one. 58.
Scott's a hard guy to please.
58-23. EPJ. And now a 3 bombed up and in good. That's Donnelly again. Donnelly and Meninga from the outside. Gary has just been, as they say down home, they've been carrying the water tonight.
Indeed. And Meninga 23 points in the game. Donnelly now with 9.
Bullard has her shot blocked by Curry. Here's Hanson. 2-stepping her way out of traffic. And Meninga will try it again, and there it is. Can't, finally, you know, Webster fans are going, finally, she misses one. Finally. Excellent game of the night for Meninga. And Valesky on the shots, can't hit it. Minute 6 to play here in the third. It's been all EPJ since the first quarter. A combined 67 years of state absence for Garrettson and Webster. And both will lose in the opening round of the State A tournament for this year. Certainly with the way those 2 squads are set up with the youth, you would think it wouldn't be 33 and 34 years before they'd make it back here at the state. Nebelsick hasn't quit coaching, still encouraging his team, wanting to run the offense, run it the way it's supposed to be, and get after it on defense. And now Vogel in the lane, kind of little contact between her and Donnelly. Vogel falls down, ball slides out, and back come the Huskies. Meninga will dish it out to Hanson. Jump shot no good, rebound Vogel. Lindsay will come weaving her way out of the crowd. Get it off to Keller. With 7 seconds to play, Bullard has it to Vogel. Vogel goes by Donnelly, pulls up, shoots, and can't score it. And we're through the end of 3. And now for something really unique in high school, let's go over to Gary Ellenbolt and the Webster student section with God Bless America. I don't know if I've ever seen that before in high school basketball or in a high school sporting event. Students on their own just started singing it, and we caught on to that during the region when they were doing it. And it's kind of interesting to see the Point-Jefferson fans and the Winter fans and the Mt Vernon-Plankinton fans are all standing up, and they were helping to sing, and then the applause at the end of it. Nice job there with those students. Community of Webster can be very proud of those young men and women. 61-23 as we start the fourth quarter. Huskies in control here, have been since about midway of the second quarter. Here's Bertram. Bertram, Zeller, Hanson, Erickson back in there, and Meninga.
Was that ever cool?
Wow, I'm telling you. All the other fans from the other schools that are in, the applause after it was over was just nice.
Mm-hmm. And a standing ovation.
A standing ovation.
Yes, I love it. What a great country, isn't it?
Meninga will try it again. Rattles out. Well, she's gone ice cold, Gary. She's missed her last two.
Ooh. Break up the Bearcats.
Here comes Vogel on the steal on the wing. And even when you steal the ball and you have a good 10 feet of open space between you and the defender, that's no guarantee you're going to get a layup. Not with Bertram out there.
Absolutely not. Just the Point-Jefferson defense has done just about everything asked of them by Gary Nebelsick tonight.
Well, and you talk to Coach Nebelsick, he'll tell you they lost to St. Thomas More. Second game of the season. They got down 18-0. They learned some things about themselves in that game. Here's Bertram. Nice drive. Bertram takes the contact. And that's what you like to see, Gary. How many times do you see players that get hit like that and then all of a sudden the shot's not made? They're waiting for the foul to be called and then the whistle doesn't blow. And that, play through the contact, make the shot, play through the contact.
And that's a very hard thing to teach. It's just somebody who says, okay, I'm going to score here. And it's almost like a wide receiver. You anticipate you're going to get hit as soon as you come up with the football. And you just figure, okay, I'll deal with it. And that time she made the shot, a pretty shot. And now she'll try the three-point play, and she got that.
Bertram knocks down the free throw. 64-23. Meninga now with 23. And a 16 for Bertram on the evening. Vogel leads the way with Webster with 9 points. Only 2 of those coming in this half. Here's Roush. She'll try a 3 in and out. No good.
I'm still shaking over the God Bless America. My goodness.
That's what I said. It's first time you hear it. It's just so cool to see those young men and women like that saying God Bless America on their own. Nobody's telling them to do it. Nobody's encouraging them to do it. You have the students that are leading it, directing it. The Webster area can certainly be proud of those young men and women. Here's Donnelly. They'll work out front. Emma McInerney in the ball game, a 5'7" senior. There's the cut. Also down low is Maria Corio. Corio with a basket.
Corio was there on the inside, put up the 5-footer from the baseline right, or from the free throw lane right, and got it in. 66-23 Huskies.
Valesky. Working around to McQuarrie. Now Vogel will drive baseline. She doesn't stop, does she? I mean, she just kind of keeps forcing her way through, easing her way through. Next thing you know, she's got a layup.
And there's no quit in the Bearcats, and certainly none in Vogel. Very good, very intense player. She's had a good game. Certainly not the result that she wants here in the contest. We've got a good one coming up. The 3 and 6 seeds, Mt Vernon-Plankinton against Winter. About 20 minutes after we're done with this one.
Vogel in the lane has a partially blocked from behind. I think that was Curry might have got a hand on that one. Donnelly now backs up, restarts. Now will spin, come back. 2 Webster Bearcats chasing her. Now, I don't know if they really know where she's at. She kind of had me confused which way she was going. McInerney and out on the lane. A couple of dribbles. Back up to Corio. In the lane, they got Curry. Curry steps around, misses the shot, though, off the heel of the rim. Under 5 to play in the first game here for the evening session. That shot good by Vogel.
And Vogel once again picking up some slack there, able to drive the lane. No quit in her as she goes flying down. Again, anticipating she's going to get fouled. She did. And she'll go to the line to try the three-point play. And some more players coming in for EPJ now.
Josie Herron will check in. Dylan Hanson in for Valesky for Webster. Who all else has stepped in? I didn't see who all came in. Was it Alexis Flynn, the 5'9" sophomore, 23? She's in there.
And Stabe has come in, Miranda Stabe.
Morgan Flynn in there as well. Huh? Stabe, Morgan Flynn, Alexis Flynn. 35.
They're in like Flynn.
Free throw, no good by Vogel. And now Vogel goes after the steal, comes up with it. Steps through, nope. Gonna get her for traveling or the foul? Traveling.
That'll be the travel.
Yep. That's kind of what I thought. Well, 4:45 to play in the ball game. All Elk Point-Jefferson to this point. We'll step aside, come back after this word on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Welcome back to the Donald Young Center. We're in Spearfish, campus of Black Hills State University. 41-point lead for the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies. 4:45 away from the date in the Class A girls semifinals. Here's John.
Gorgeous facility, Gary. We've had a great time here. We did 2 years ago when we were out here, and nothing's changed in that 2-year time frame, has it?
We get treated so well by the good people of Spearfish. No matter where we go, they're just so glad to see us and accommodating and helpful. And it's just an enjoyable experience to be here. Next week, we'll be at the B Boys Tournament in Aberdeen, where a week from today we'll be enjoying what's known to the media as rotten air.
we like that, don't we?
Well, I'm from Wisconsin. When they do my autopsy, they won't find a trace of blood in my brats. You know, that's just how wonderful they are. And my brother, Mike, who might be watching, so shout out to him down in Lincoln, Nebraska. He's got a brat recipe that is the envy of anyone who'll listen.
Wow, that sounds challenge accepted.
All right. 2 out of 3 falls, I think you could take it. But, or did you mean in brats?
In brats, of course. And we're not talking about cooking, we're talking about eating, right?
Yes.
Sure, well, challenge accepted. For the Bearcats, some reserves on the floor here for Webster. I get it said for you. Faith Shoemaker in the ball game for the Bearcats. And a Shoemaker in there. Who else checked in? I knew there was Hanson came in. That's who. Sean back in there as well. Both teams going with their reserve players here as we wind down. That's Jenny Daly, 5'11" junior in the ballgame right now for Elk Point-Jefferson. Molly Roush out front has the ball knocked away, and that's going to be tied up. That'll be Maria Corio. Corio, number 15, the 5'7" junior. Seeing pretty good minutes here. Also in the ballgame, Josie Herron. We talked about Herron.
Herron's had some good scrappy minutes, too, for the Huskies.
Alexis Flynn in the ballgame. Morgan Flynn for the Huskies. And Jenny Daly, the 5'11" junior. Here's Molly Roush, 5'7" freshman. Inside, nope. Schoenbeck tries, put it back, can't hit it. And with the rebound for the Bearcats, that is going to be Shoemaker. And Shoemaker's going to be fouled on her way to the back up for the shot. 3:39 to play here in the first game of the evening. Gary Ellenbolt will have the call of our next game winner and Mt Vernon-Plankinton. And Ellenbolt, that should be a pretty good battle between 2 evenly matched squads.
7-point difference between the 2 teams in the regular season. Winner ending with that decision. And they'll try to advance to the semifinal against the Mt Vernon-Plankinton Titans. It seems like Plankinton, and for that matter Mt Vernon, have co-opted with just about everybody in their area. They've been with Stickney, they've been with White Lake, and now it's Mt Vernon-Plankinton's turn.
I've got no way to respond to that, sir.
Well, this you have to believe. You may not remember Mt Vernon-Plankinton, which is an awful lot to remember, but as far as their nickname, you will remember the Titans.
Of course. MVP.
Yeah. You will remember the Titan. That's where I was going there.
Never mind.
All right. Somewhere Denzel Washington smiles.
Sure. They have told me back in the truck that I can't encourage you, Ellen Bolt, so I won't.
Okay.
That's why I'm playing dumb a lot of times tonight. It's not because that's who I really am. I'm just playing one on TV.
You are playing? All right.
Alexis Flynn will leave.
I'm just giving you grief. I enjoy working with you, man.
No, it's done now. Miranda Stabe in there as well, 5'8" junior for the Huskies. Earlier this afternoon, St. Thomas More blitzed Garrettson in the first game, 61-16. That was followed up by Sioux Valley and Pine Ridge. Sioux Valley hit 15 of 18 free throws in the second quarter and used that as a springboard to a win over the Thorpes in the first round. Two very similar teams. We talked about that, how similar the two teams were,
and that's the way the game went.
You know, if they would have went into the halftime and changed uniforms and came out of each other's line, I mean, it would have been the same team. Very, very similar.
Would have been quite a surprise to the coaches, but
I think they could have handled it, yes, and for their fans, but. It's just what that came down to was Sioux Valley hitting a few more shots than Pine Ridge did.
And a very good day from three-point shooting, too. And that is what Sioux Valley, and for that matter, Pine Ridge, has lived and died with all season.
Free throw, no good by Miranda Stabe. And for Webster, Shauna Hanson will check in. And Coach Nebelsack just... I think he's just kind of rotating players through pretty quick here.
Getting them some state tournament experience. Here's Stabe with the second.
Second one is good. Molesky, that's Mariah with the basketball. She and Roush in there, a couple of those freshmen. Two of the six Webster came to the state tournament with. Here's Valesky on the drive. A little jump hook from the baseline. Nope.
Nice job by the Huskies. There were about 4 Elk Point-Jefferson players under the basket, none of them touching the basketball as it was going out of bounds. And the Huskies will have it with 2:38 to play.
Would expect to see possibly Haley Rithmiller for Webster here in the next minute or so. And inside, we're going to foul call on Dylan Hanson. It'll be Morgan Flynn going to the free throw line. 2:26 to play. Coming into the state tournament, the top 4 seeds were a combined 81-6 on the regular season. Bottom 4 seeds, 62-24. I'm going to throw some numbers out there at you.
All right. And each team, winners, of course, of their regions, and enjoying the experience in the state tournament. You enjoy it a little more when you win the game, but this is something you remember forever.
It's the memories, the experience. If you don't win the state tournament, of course, you're going to think about that for a while, but eventually the disappointment will wear off, and they'll have the memories. Down court, layup missed that time on the drive. That was Josie Herron. And now the Bearcats back, and that literally going out the door that time for Webster was Devin Spindler.
You ever seen anyone head right out the door?
Forrest Gump, but he didn't come back.
No,
that wasn't out the door, it was out the entire stadium.
And then finally they put the stop sign up there before he got to the locker room.
Under 2 to play. Game 1 of the evening session here. It's been all Elk Point-Jefferson since early going. Huskies on the drive down the lane, and again the miss by Herron. Daly fired into the corner and nearly out the door on this end.
That door at least was open, though. It hurts quite a bit less when you go through a doorway where there's no door there.
Equal opportunity doorism.
Yes. Doorism.
Sure.
I think I like that.
You can have that one. Roush misses on the drive. Corio will throw it ahead. Flynn bumped and fouled.
Probably wouldn't have gone anyway as the foul happened before she took the shot, but she is going to go to the foul line. She'll get the 1-and-1 here with 1:12 to go.
Foul is on Hanson. And there comes Haley Rithmiller.
And they're loving that in the Webster section.
You can hear the cheers from the Webster fans as Rithmiller, the freshman, trots on. And if you missed the opening, Haley Rithmiller led this team in scoring and rebounding last year as an 8th grader. Averaged 18 points, 10 rebounds. Had an ACL injury 2 weeks before the first practice this year. It's been out all year.
And that was in a PE class, correct?
That's what I was told, yes, sir. And has been out all year. They put her on the roster for the state tournament, wanted to give her the experience of playing in a state tournament. I think there's a miss by Flynn, got the rebound, put it in. I think it's just Coach Vergelt's way of kind of whetting the appetite. That's it. He just wants to get a taste of it.
Right.
Get all these players a little taste of the state tournament, go, okay, now that's what it's going to be like next year when we get back here again.
And some exciting days, of course, for Webster with 6 freshmen getting state tournament experience here.
And would you believe Rithmiller is open for the 3 and hits it.
Look at that smile. That's really just a beautiful, beautiful smile after that shot.
She's not going to run up and down the floor. She's going to walk, maybe a slow jog. I had a chance to visit with her a little bit yesterday. And you could tell, she'd much rather be out there playing with her teammates. And what do we get? You're going to get Rithmiller out and put another girl down there. Okay. But what kind of a storybook season is that? I mean, you're the worst of times, the best of times, right?
Now, if this were Hollywood, Webster would go on about a 45-0 run in the final 39 seconds.
Tie it up.
Yep, and go into overtime.
Win it in overtime, yep. And Rithmiller will leave the game.
And look at the
big hug from her coach, Jared Vergelt.
The hand she is getting. She'll be back at full strength next year for the Bearcats.
You got the senior Bullard and teammates on the bench congratulating her. Rithmiller sitting on the bench. I think they've even got the old curmudgeon over there, Bill Sawinski, a little teared up over that. 3 on the way by Schoenbeck's no good.
Held ball is the call. That is going to give it to Point-Jefferson. 21.8 ticks left.
Point-Jefferson will move into the second semifinal game tomorrow night, facing either Mt Vernon-Plankinton or winner. We'll find out who in our next contest. I think I'll take the night off after that, Mr. Ellenbolt. You can have that one.
Okay.
I'll sit here and think up stories about my brother to tell you. Shot at the buzzer. Nope, no good. Wave it off. That's your ball game, folks. 77-30. Point-Jefferson with the win over the Webster area Bearcats. We'll be back with final numbers coming up right after this on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
Well, the final, 77-30, Elk Point-Jefferson leading or winning over the Webster area Bearcats. Final numbers breakdown look like this right here. Team-wise, first for Webster, 11 of 36 from the field for 30%, 3 of 6 on threes. They hit 5 of 12 from the free throw line, pulled down 20 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 steals, 24 turnovers, and wound up with 15 fouls for Webster. Webster led by Lindsey Vogel with 11 points, 5 points for Brianna Bullard, 4 points for Molly Roush, 3 points for Haley Rithmiller, That's right, Haley Rithmiller, 3 points. Came in, stood outside, they passed it to her, and she just launched it, and it went in. 2 points for Mackenzie Valesky, 4 points for Joby McQuarrie. And for Lindsey Vogel, she was 5 of 10 from the field. And rebounding-wise, Webster led by Bullard with 3, Vogel with 3, 4 for Lindsay Schoenbeck off the bench. Elk Point Jefferson tonight as a team, shooting 52% from the field, 27 of 51. They were 60% on threes alone, 9 of 15.
That's a phenomenal number.
14 of 21 at the free throw line for 66%. Pulled down 39 rebounds tonight, 17 assists, 14 steals, and 15 turnovers. And for the individual numbers, they were led by Mackenzie Meninga with 23 points and 17 for Keely Bertram. Meninga, by the way, 5 of 9 on the threes. Bertram on the afternoon, 3 of 5. Check that. Yeah. Was that right? No, Bertram didn't shoot any threes. That's my fault. Meninga was 5 of 9. Donnelly was 3 of 3 from the field. There, I finally got that straight. And 9 points again for Peyton Donnelly. 5 points for Maria Corio, 5 points for Alexis Flynn, 3 points for Brittany Hanson, 2 for Morgan Flynn, 4 for Amy Zeller, 8 for Skylar Curry off the bench. And Gary, it was a pretty dominating performance by Elk Point Jefferson, but they had some good minutes from players off the bench, including Skylar Curry. And that's only going to set them up for success down the road here in the tournament.
And they're going to need everybody tomorrow night when they play that semifinal game. They've got a really good St. Thomas More team coming up. That's going to be a heck of a semifinal tomorrow.
Well, for Sioux Valley and...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Elk Point Jefferson actually plays in the second game, and it will be St. Thomas More against Sioux Valley. All right. That was just me trying to talk and think at the same time, and we all know I should never do that.
Game number 1. Well, we will find out who meets this Elk Point Jefferson squad in the semifinals tomorrow night, in the second game of the semifinals between Winter and Mt Vernon-Plankinton. A couple of coaches. We call him the young buck and Coach Aker, and the old bear and Bill Marquardt.
Bill Marquardt.
What a guy.
Yes, one of the most, he's a guy who gets it. Let me put it that way. And he was out of coaching, out of teaching for a while, found out about the opening at Mt Vernon-Plankinton after a long career at McCook Central Montrose and a couple of other schools, and just loving his time with the young ladies here at Mt Vernon-Plankinton. Our final, once again, in the Class A quarterfinal, it was Elk Point Jefferson getting the 77-30 decision. And the final over the school from Webster, the Bearcats, will head into an afternoon contest with whoever would lose this game between Mt Vernon-Plankinton and Winter. The Warriors coming up against Mt Vernon-Plankinton's Titans. We'll take a break and come back, bring you more on our post-game report here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Championship event is brought to you in part by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Farmers Union Insurance, by SDN Communications, and by the Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota.
Our post-game report continues at the Donald Young Center in Spearfish. You are watching South Dakota Public Broadcasting, the Class A Girls State Basketball Tournament here on TV2 on SDPB. As you watch around the state or around the global village on SDPB.org, you can follow all of the tournaments. You can get all the information on SDPB.org with photos, statistical information, and the like. The game you just saw, 77-30, the final score, as Elk Point Jefferson got the 47-point win over the Webster Bearcats. Webster moving to the left side of the bracket. They'll play their first consolation game tomorrow afternoon, and they will take on the team which loses between Mt Vernon-Plankinton and Winter. The Warriors or the Titans will head to the right side of the bracket and play a semifinal game. The winner to face a red-hot Elk Point Jefferson squad, as the Huskies coming up with the big win. 77-30 was the final score. A couple of other games around the state tournament tonight. Mitchell getting the decision over Sioux Falls Roosevelt in the AA tournament. That's a 70-65 score. And Hanson was a winner, big time over Lyman. The Lyman Raiders and the Hanson Beavers colliding in the first round in Class B. Hanson getting the win, 69-36. And again, our final score here was 77-30. Mackenzie Manenga, the transfer from Dakota Valley, 9 of 17 from the field, 5 of 9 from three-point territory. Not a single free throw all night for Mackenzie Manenga. Manenga ending up with 23 points in the winning effort for Elk Point-Jefferson. And again, the Huskies had a terrific game from minute 1 to minute 32 here. They get the decision, go to 21-2, and again, we'll face the winner of the final game. A long day of basketball here in Spearfish. That will be winner and Mt Vernon-Plankinton coming up in just a few minutes. The Webster Bearcats, again led by Lindsay Vogt, 5 of 10 from the field. 1 three-point try, she made it. She was 0 of 3 from the free throw line, coming up with 3 rebounds and 11 points. No double-doubles for either team. Keely Bertram coming up 7 of 12 shooting and came up with 17 points in the effort for the Huskies. Elk Point-Jefferson will be a very tough nut to crack for the winner of this game in tomorrow night semifinals. But they play the games for a reason, to find out who the state champion is. And we are down to 5 teams with the opportunity to take the gold plaque home and call themselves the state Class A champion. Bill Marquardt coming up with the Mt Vernon-Plankinton Titans. They are warming up on the court here, as are the Winter Warriors. They are coached by Larry Aker, who is the younger brother of the athletic director and head football coach at Winter High School. That is Dan Aker. We'll take a break. We'll come back, take a look at some items around the state, and give you more information. We get into our final game of the night coming up here in just a bit. You are watching a production of member-supported South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
Number 15, Maria Corio. Number 20, Josie Heron. Number 23, Alexis Flynn. Number 35, Morgan Flynn. Number 44, Emma McInerney. Number 51, Skylar Curry. And number 53, Jenny Daly. And now the starting lineups for each team. First, Webster area Bearcats. At forward, a 6'1", senior number 14, Brianna Bullard. For the Huskies, a 5'8", sophomore guard, number 5, Mackenzie Manenga. For the Bearcats, a 5'8", junior guard, number 20, Lindsay Vogel. For the Huskies, a 5'5", senior guard, number 11, Hope Erickson. For the Bearcats, a 5'7", junior guard, number 24, Whitney Keller. For the Huskies, a 5'10", senior forward, number 30, Brittany Hanson. For the Bearcats, at guard, a freshman at 5'5", number 32, Mackenzie Valesky. For the Huskies, a 5'11", senior center, number 43, Amy Zeller. And for the Bearcats, a 5'9", junior forward, number 44, Joby McCreary. And for the Huskies, a 5'9", senior forward, number 52, Keely Bertram. Head coach of the Webster area Bearcats is Jared Vergelt, assisted by Bill Sawinski. Head coach for the Huskies, Gary Nebelsick, assisted by Jim Rosenbaum and Adam Timmons. The team sponsor for the Bearcats is Wells Fargo. Team sponsor for the Huskies, Lucky's 13. Officials for the first game of tonight's second session, Terry Duffy, Jim Phillips, and Ryan Neal.
The Point-Jefferson Huskies and the Webster area Bearcats getting ready to do battle in this third game. The atmosphere is absolutely electric. First of two of the evening session coming up. Hope you enjoy it. Check your pulse if you don't. Let's get the play-by-play story. The man whose upcoming autobiography is called God Knows I Tried. Here's John Siebert.
Thank you, sir. Well, of course, the foreword written by Gary Ellenbolt.
Yes.
Who describes all the ways that I tried.
And it will be titled God Knows He Tried.
Where would you want to be on a Thursday night than the State A girls basketball tournament? Point-Jefferson wins the tip, nearly turns it over. There's Bertram going after it. Cats open 1-3-1 defense. Out top, they've got Keller. Quite a bit of speed out there, giving chase to the basketball.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the visiting team on the scoreboard.
Preparation isn't always glamorous, but you'll see it in early mornings and late nights in empty gyms in Webster. It is in those moments that a great team asks themselves, what can we achieve together? Make that dream become a reality, Bearcats. Ladies and gentlemen, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the City of Spearfish, Spearfish High School, and Black Hills State University proudly present to you the Region 1 champions, the Webster Area Bearcats.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the home team on the scoreboard.
Take a look around. This is a chance of a lifetime. This is Huskies basketball. It's game time. Are you ready? Today is your day. What are you going to do to help your team win? Ladies and gentlemen, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the City of Spearfish, Spearfish High School, and Black Hills State University proudly present to you the Region 4 champions, the Point-Jefferson Huskies.
And now let's meet each team. First, the Webster Area Bearcats. Number 10, Dylan Hanson. Number 12, Mariah Valesky. Number 22, Molly Rausch. Number 30, Devin Spindler. Number 34, Haley Rithmiller. Number 42, Lindsay Schoenbeck. Number 50, Shauna Hanson. And number 52, Faith Shoemaker. And now let's meet the team members for the Point-Jefferson Huskies. Number 3, Peyton Donnelly. Number 4, Miranda Stabe.
This is a production of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, made possible by the Friends of SDPB. Pledge your support for quality programming. Call Friends at 800-333-0789 or donate online at sdpb.org. You may purchase this video and many others online at our website. Click on Shop SDPB. And thank you.
This high school activities championship event is conducted under the auspices of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
From the Donald Young Center in Spearfish, South Dakota, welcome to the second session of day one of the South Dakota High School Activities Association Class A State Girls Basketball Tournament. Hello, everyone, and a gracious good evening to you. Along with John Sieber, I'm Gary Ellenbolt. It is good to have you with us from the campus of Black Hills State University on this Thursday evening. Sioux Valley and St. Thomas More have already advanced to the right side of the bracket. We'll find one more semifinalist tonight with the first game and another, obviously, with the second game. This first one, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Yes, it's a 2 and a 7, but the Webster Bearcats taking on the Point-Jefferson Huskies as the number 7 seed. And quite a story, John Sieber, with the Bearcats this year.
Well, it has been, Gary, and if you followed Webster any at all, I know a lot of the media organizations around the state talking about it, how Webster lost arguably their best player in Haley Rithmiller before the season even started. You know, as an 8th grader last year for the varsity team, she averaged 18 points and 10 boards a game. A couple of weeks before the season, she tears her ACL, is out for the year, and it showed in the way Webster started. They started really slow. They lost their first 3 games, and then after Coach Vergelt had sat down and had a talk with the team, and there were some players that he felt could do a little more. You know, they kind of got used last year to watching Rithmiller do a lot of the stuff, and he just told them, look, you need to step up, you need to step up, and you need, and from there they took off.
Realizing Rithmiller's not going to be here.
She's not going to be here, although she is on the roster for the state tournament. Now, how cool is this? She's coming back. The surgery was fine. Great. She's okay. She's moving around, and the therapy is going great. So Coach Vergelt put her on the roster for the state tournament, and at some point in this state tournament, she's going to get some minutes in a state tournament game.
What a terrific gesture that is by the Bearcats. From the northeast part of the state of South Dakota, not too far from the city of Aberdeen, you look at their opponent first round, the Point-Jefferson Huskies. Very good team basketball. One name that you're going to hear an awful lot about is number 52 for the Huskies, Keely Bertram.
And there's a reason why we're going to hear a lot about Miss Bertram. I've talked to you, I've talked to several people around here, and she's one of the players that everybody is wanting to see. And if you had to pay to go watch a game, you would certainly want to go pay to watch a game with Miss Bertram playing in it, because she can pretty much do everything on the floor. If it's basketball related, the girl can do it.
And not only that, this is the floor where she will spend her college basketball years, as she has signed a letter of intent to play Division II basketball here at Black Hills State University in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The Huskies 20-2. Their losses to St. Thomas More and Sergeant Bluff Luton out of the state of Iowa, which is Sergeant Bluff, a suburb of the city of Sioux City in the northwest corner of the state. The Bearcats with a 14-7 mark, but again, after the slow start, really stepped things up, took their coach's advice to heart, and came through their regional with a couple of dicey games, but they're able to get it done.
Well, they started 0-3, won 7 of the last 8, including the postseason. First trip to the state since 1981 for this Webster Bearcat squad. The only other time they were at State A at the state tournament was 1979, and you can tell by the following that the Webster Bearcats have that it has just taken the town by storm. And Gary, let's go back to Point-Jefferson for just a moment. They played St. Thomas More in that St. Thomas More game. St. Thomas More, the Cavaliers were rated number 1. Point-Jefferson was rated number 2 at the time. And St. Thomas More, just much like they did this afternoon, got off to a great start. They had them down 18-0. And for all intents and purposes, that game was pretty much over. And we talked about that this afternoon. If your team loses and you can learn something from that loss, that's going to help you down the road. That's not a bad loss. You will take that. And that's exactly what Point-Jefferson did. They discovered some things about themselves in that loss to St. Thomas More that helped them the rest of the year. They went 20-1 after that.
Earlier games of the state tournament in Class A, and we'll look at all of the games in each bracket in all 3 classes. St. Thomas More defeating Garrettson this afternoon in the first game, 61-16, that final score. Sioux Valley by 11 over Pine Ridge. The Cossacks over the Thorpes, 60-49. Garrettson and Pine Ridge in the first consolation round game on Friday afternoon. That'll be here at noon Mountain Time. And the Sioux Valley Cossacks taking on St. Thomas More. That will be in the very first semifinal game tomorrow night. Class A, Sioux Falls, Washington advancing, or Double A rather. Washington beating Harrisburg 50-35. Sturgis, the Scoopers, knocking off Spearfish 39-33 in the other Double A quarterfinal in Brookings at Frost Arena. And in Class B, not much doubt in either game. Sully Buttes defeating Gayville-Vollen 65-31. The Chargers now taking on Warner, the defending B champion Monarchs, maybe with their noses out of joint a little bit as the number 4 seed in the tournament. They defeated Lyman, the Monarchs, over the Cowgirls 59-35. Sully Buttes and Warner in semifinal 1 tomorrow night. Gayville-Vollen and Lyman in the first consolation game. Couple of games going on in Double-A. Of course, they got started an hour earlier, being in the Central Time Zone, where we're here in the Mountain Zone. Mitchell defeating Sioux Falls Roosevelt, are leading them at halftime, 33-21, and a 38-18 lead for Hanson, leading Lyman. That is at halftime at the Huron Arena. We've got Elk Point-Jefferson and Webster area coming up in just a couple of minutes. After that, the final game of the Thursday session will feature the Warriors from Winter and the Titans of Mt Vernon-Plankinton. That'll be a couple of hours away. Let's get the starting lineups, further set the stage for basketball from Spearfish. Here once again, our public address announcer, Scott Jensen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Donald E. Young Center on the campus of Black Hills State University in Spearfish. The South Dakota High School Activities Association welcomes you to this session of the State A Girls High School Basketball Tournament Games. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, First Premier Bank Card, Farmers Union Insurance Agency, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, wish the best of luck to all teams participating in these state girls basketball tournament games. Good sportsmanship is vital at all levels of athletics. That is why the South Dakota High School Activities Association has sponsored a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. Good sportsmanship stresses positive values that are so important in the development of our leaders of tomorrow. You can set a good example by displaying good sportsmanship during these state tournament games.
Hello, I'm Dana Boak, Mayor of Spearfish.
And I'm Kay Schellenkamp, President of Black Hills State University. On behalf of everyone on campus and in the community, I welcome each of you to the 2014 State A Girls Basketball Tournament.
Congratulations on your successful basketball season. You should be very proud of your accomplishment. We are honored to host you, your family, and fans for this tournament.
We hope you enjoy your time on campus, in the community, and throughout the beautiful Black Hills.
As a graduate of BHSU and a business owner in Spearfish, I am sure you will find it's a wonderful place to visit.
Best of luck to each of you in your games. We look forward to some outstanding basketball over the next few days.
Hi, my name is Dave Peters, and I'm Superintendent of Schools here in Spearfish. I'd like to welcome you to our community and to the 2014 Girls State A Basketball Tournament. The Spearfish School District is your host for this tournament, and as you know, we have partnered with Black Hills State University to provide these nice facilities to you. We've worked very hard to prepare for this tournament, and we hope to meet all your needs and expectations while you're here. Congratulations again for being here. Best of luck.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand to honor America and join in singing our national anthem as it is played by the Spearfish High School Band under the direction of Steve Albu. We would remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to remove your cap or hat, face the flag, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may salute the flag.